Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Cambridge Veritas. My name is Krish, and I am your friend, IELTS expert, and a teacher trainer here at Cambridge Veritas. We're meeting after 3 days, so welcome back to the live lecture once again. If you're able to hear me, please show me a big, massive, gigantic thumbs up. Dibya, we are just starting. I hope you're able to hear me. Bravo. So, there's a very interesting session and a very important session today, as you can see on the screen. Today, we're going to be talking about IELTS Writing Task 2. But what exactly? We're going to be looking at how do you plan an essay. I repeat, how do you plan an essay? It's so important, isn't it? I've seen a lot of students struggling with just the idea of starting an essay from some point and actually ending it on a completely different tangent. So, to help you tackle that problem, we have today's session. But what exactly are we going to be discussing? Let's have a quick look at it. The first thing is we will look at what is an essay outline. We'll play a game called essay outline. That's number one. Number two, we will play another activity, and that's called appropriate sentences. So I'm going to show you a list of sentences, and from there we'll decide what is an appropriate sentence and what is not. Okay? Next, we will look at a very important concept, and this concept is the highlight of today's session. It's called softer vocabulary. Now, we've heard of different kinds of vocabularies. We don't know what is the meaning of softer vocabulary. Hi, guys. Harneet, Alka, Dibya, a big namaste to you as well. And Rashi, good evening. So, we're going to be looking at what is softer vocabulary and what is the relevance of softer vocabulary when we write an essay. So, that's exactly what we're going to be looking at. All right. And the last bit is, as always, real exam practice. So, without further ado, if you are ready and excited about today's session, give me a big thumbs up. Excellent. Thank you. So, the first thing that we're going to be looking at is called essay outline. So, the first game is essay outline. Now, in the first game, essay outline, I'm going to show you a question first of all. Okay? Read the question, and then after that, I'll tell you what we have to do next. So, let's read the question first. To what extent does the internet increase social cohesion? Cohesion basically means how people connect socially, basically. Does it increase it? Does it reduce it? How does it make social compatibility enhanced, etc., etc.? Okay? So that's the question. Is it a task 1 question or task 2 question? It is task. What are you guys saying? It is task 2 question. Wonderful. So what do we have to do? It says study the task 2 essay question and essay plan below. So I'm going to show you a plan. It's a random plan. You have to look at the plan and tell me, in your opinion, what are the 2 strengths of the plan and what are the 2 weaknesses of the plan. Understand the game? If you understand the game, show me a big heart or maybe a thumbs up. Sat Sri Akal, Harneet. So here we go. Essay outline. Let's take a moment to observe it. I'm not going to talk much. I hope you're able to see it, yeah? Thank you. So we have introduction. We can see that there is a main idea that is written on the screen. There are some supporting sentences. Then there is main idea 2, some other supporting sentences, and then eventually ending with a conclusion. That's the general IELTS Writing Task 2 essay outline of the essay, basically. Introduction, main idea 1, supporting sentences, main idea 2, supporting sentences, and finally conclusion, correct? Let's go through it one by one. What do you think? I will give you, first of all, 30 seconds to just hover over the essay outline. Remember, it's not the essay, it's essay outline. What are the two strengths and two weaknesses of it? Please put your answers in the chat box. 30 seconds, start now. Let's first start with just the strength. Time starts now. Hi, Omkar. Fatima, hello. Perfect. Thank you so much. So let's read the first segment. In introduction, by the way, I'm not saying that this is the best, okay? It's quite neutral. Let's start with the introduction. Internet, very important in modern life. Two sides to this debate. Okay, cool. We're not making any comments right now. Internet can increase social isolation. That's main idea one. Some supporting sentences with examples. However, internet can also bring some people closer together. Okay. Here there are three supporting sentences. Here there are four supporting sentences. And finally, conclusion is internet can create more togetherness if used in right way. All right, cool, fair enough. Interesting. What do you think is the strength? Alka says people can showcase their talent. Okay, Alka, thank you. Rashi, what exactly is to be done? Not clear. Rashi, the question is right here. You have to tell two strengths and two weaknesses. Hi, Jasmeet. So let's start first of all with the strengths. So the first strength that I see on the screen, anybody else would like to put their answers across? Rashi, if you understand the question now, show me a thumbs up. Thank you. So here we go. So the first strength is it has a very clear structure, and it is a classic structure that examiners look for. It is also a classic conventional structure that students write on the IELTS writing task too. All right? So that's number one. Strength number two is that there are very good supporting sentences, as we can see on the screen, on the left hand side of the screen. There are very nice supporting sentences. You know, shy teens, couples addicted to online gaming, people, as a matter of fact, at work spend all mornings reading emails, etc. So social isolation increases, no time for meeting, bad for teamwork. There's a bit of a question mark there. So there are good supporting examples and sentences. Good job, well done. But there's one problem here. Can you see? I mean, I'm going to talk about it in the weaknesses. The number of supporting sentences that you write in an essay should be equal. Why? Because you do not want to overpower one section of the essay from the other. So there should be, and by the way, can I tell you a little secret? If you write so many ideas, which is good for brainstorming, but if you write so many ideas, students tend to get confused and they sometimes write more than 300 words. Now, it is not CBSE or ICSE. Writing more does not mean that you will get more marks. It will rather reduce your marks. I repeat, on the IELTS writing task 2, if you write more, it's not CBSE or ICSE that you'll get more marks. It will reduce your marks because it makes the examiner feel, don't you understand the instruction? 250 words, you can do a little bit up and down. Okay? So what's the weakness? Let's have a look at the weakness. Thank you, Jayanti. So anybody who'd like to write the weakness, I'm going to give you guys 30 seconds and I'll give you some space as well. I told one weakness anyway. What do you think are some other weaknesses that we can write here? Feel free to write any one that you think. What do you think, guys? Addiction, Dibya. Thank you, Dibya. What do you mean by that? Can you possibly write a short sentence, maybe? Jayanti, the children addiction is on higher side, okay? Jayanti, you're actually noticing a very good point here, and it is related to softer vocabulary that we will connect today's lesson with. So good job, Jayanti. Alka, what do you mean by health disease? Can you we're talking about the weaknesses, Alka, so can you elaborate on that maybe? All right, so let's have a look at it. So the number one weakness that I see, ladies and gentlemen, with this particular essay is I want you to read the introduction once again. We have had a live lecture which was particularly talking about how to write the introduction in its entirety. Introduction needs to have three kinds of sentences: outline statement, thesis statement, paraphrase statement. Now, if the person says two sides of the debate, you need to be able to sort of talk about what those two sides of the debates are to have clarity on it. Because I'll tell you there's something messy that's going on here. So the introduction needs to be outline of the introduction needs to be a little more clear with specifications related to thesis statement and outline statement, because these are two sentences that we write in introduction. In case you want to watch a lesson, I'm going to put a video of that lesson, live lecture that happened on YouTube about 10-15 days ago. I'm going to share that video link with you. It's very important lesson. Watch that lesson. The entire lesson is all about how to write the introduction. So it'll help you. The next weakness is conclusion is overly simplistic. Now, some people may say, what is the problem with conclusion? Can you tell what is the problem with conclusion here? It says, internet can create more togetherness if used in right way. Guys, what do you think is the problem with the conclusion here? Okay, I'm going to read your answers. Rutherford says the support and concession points are same. Thank you, Rutherford. Rutherford. Alka says using a lot of mobile can cause health issues. Okay. Jayanti, the eyesight of the person is diminished nowadays. Okay. Barsat says people like to meet online rather than face to face, which reduces coordination support between people. Okay. Okie dokie. Waiting for your answers. What do you think is wrong with the conclusion here? Thank you. So conclusion primarily includes two important points. Number one, a final verdict, a final statement, and a summary of main idea one and main idea two. Now it does look like a condensed version of what is your eventual opinion, but you need to be able to sort of summarize main idea one. So one sentence needs to be related to one idea, main idea one and main idea two. So the problem is with the introduction that can be enhanced better. The problem is with the number of supporting sentences, they need to be equal. Don't write too much, it'll only confuse. And if you write too extra, it reduces the marks. And conclusion, most importantly, has two aspects. The overview statement, what is the overall overview of the passage, and your final verdict, just one, or sometimes people also call it a summary statement, and sometimes people also call it a condensed version of what is main idea one and main idea two. That's it, and it helps with the overall structure of the outline. But I want to ask you something. Why the hell are we discussing all of this? Why are we discussing all of this? I'm going to now show you two sentences on the screen. This is one statement, this is one secret that very few examiners share that I've seen, and that's exactly what we're going to be doing in this session. I'm going to show you two sentences on the screen in the next 10 seconds. Now, one sentence, both of them are grammatically all right, but I'm going to ask you, what do you think is the problem in one of them? Okay? So let me show you without further ado. Here we go. There are two questions that I will show you, question number 1 and question number 2. But before I show you those two questions, just read the sentences first. Excessive internet use leads to social isolation. All right, thank you. Excessive internet use can lead to, excuse me, can lead to social isolation. Which statement did you like and why? I'm going to give you 10, 12 seconds to answer that. Put it in the chat box. Which statement did you like and why? Thank you, Olga. Absolutely. We have to summarize both the sides of the. Yep. All right. I'm going to tell you a very, very interesting secret. But let's have a look at question number 1 first. Which of these sentences is more appropriate for academic context and why? Rutherford says number 1, Tejal number 2, Omkar number 1, English language pronunciation second, Barsat 1, Alka second, Dibya 1 because it is a clear opinion. Thank you guys, all of you. Wonderful job. Great. Loved your participation. I'm going to write one word for you on the screen. Have a look at the word that I write on the screen. Have you heard of this word before? Sweeping. Now, just to make it a little more clear for you, claims. Sweeping claims. What is the meaning of the word sweeping claims, by the way? Does anybody know? What is sweeping claims? Sweeping claims basically means over exaggerating a statement without any factual knowledge. Now, which sentence, in your opinion, is over exaggerating an opinion without factual knowledge? Let's look at number 1. Excessive internet use leads to social isolation. All right. Excessive internet use can lead to social isolation. The statement that is giving a sweeping claim is number 1. That's why number 1 is wrong. It doesn't matter what your level of English is. You can be an advanced speaker and you can be an intermediate speaker. But an intermediate speaker can get better marks than an advanced speaker, only because they have the sense of using the word can. Now, this is a kind of information that is very rarely discussed. And I'm so glad that all of you are here, 24 people right now. Do not ever mention sweeping claims in your essay. I repeat, do not ever mention sweeping claims in your essay because it just, have you done some research on it? Do you have factual knowledge on it? The idea is you need to be able to display softer use of vocabulary because all of this looks fake otherwise. So, for example, everyone watching here has no knowledge of IELTS. It's bad, right? It's different knowledge for different people, and it's very rude to say as well. So you can say, some people may have no knowledge of IELTS Writing Task 2. So the second one is not a sweeping claim. It is a general statement, and it could be true. The first one, everyone watching right now has no knowledge of IELTS. My God, very rude and a sweeping claim. So absolutely avoid sweeping claims when you're writing statements. If you've understood this, show me a big thumbs up. Show me a big thumbs up. Perfect. Here we go. Please have a look. So the second sentence is more appropriate because it is less sweeping and therefore easier to defend as valid. whenever you write essays, you need to be able to write language that is easier to defend as a valid statement rather than just anything strewn about haphazardly. So that's important. Okay? Show me a big thumbs up if you understand this. Thumbs ups are missing today. Hello, bello. All right. Question number 2. Here we go. In what other ways could you modify the first sentence to make it less sweeping? Now, this is an important question. How did we change the first sentence? We changed the first sentence. You could modify the first sentence in many different ways. And we're going to be looking at 4 such ways right now. Let's have a look at the first way, all right? It's all a difference of vocabulary. It's all a difference of words. So I'm going to show you 4 different kinds of words that you can use on your IELTS essay to make your statements less sweeping. I repeat, to make your statements less sweeping and something that is easier to defend as a matter of fact. So number 1, excessive internet use sometimes leads to social isolation. So what is one word here that is talking about frequency of something happening? What is that word? Help me with it in the chat box. So the word here that's doing that is, please have a look, sometimes. It is an adverb of frequency. If you say excessive internet use leads to social isolation, it is a sweeping claim and it will be very difficult to defend on your IELTS, all right? Especially in the rest of the essay that proceed that you're going to be writing, and therefore it may be difficult to sort of maintain cohesion throughout the essay. So to avoid that, try using words like sometimes, often, more often than not, etc. These are softer words that help make your claim a little more valid rather than just sweeping. So that's number 1. Now let's have a look at number 2. Excessive internet use possibly leads to social isolation. Now the word possibly here is a probability adverb, supremely important. So you can use on your IELTS writing essays, possibly, could, or there are many other word choices. I've got a list of it that I'm going to show you on the next slide. If you've understood this, show me a big thumbs up. You can use may as well. Absolutely, Jayanti. Thank you. Now I'm going to show you the next one. You have to tell me what is the word for it, okay? So here we go. It is said that excessive internet use leads to social isolation. It says expression. So what is that expression that is saving us from sweeping claims? What do you think? Which one is it? Thank you, Tejal. Perfect. The expression is, it is said that. Perfect. I repeat, the expression is, it is said that. You can use a lot of sentences. So you're not saying that I am claiming it. You're not also saying possibly a particular authority claims it, which is fine if you do so. But the idea is you're rather using a more generic statement that sounds easier to sort of validate in the rest of the sentences that follow. So there's that. Now let's look at the last one here. What do you think is the last one here? Bear with me. Excessive internet use appears to lead to social isolation. Are you able to see? Yes. So which phrase is it? It is appears to. What is it? Once again, appears to. All right. So, we've discussed something very important. Next time when you write sentences on your IELTS essay, now this is a very important piece of information that a lot of people think, it's easy peasy, and I'm going to be taking care of it. It's not a big deal. It's not a biggie. But it is supremely important, ladies and gentlemen. Words like sometimes, possibly, it is said that, and appears to make your sentences a little easier to digest. Okay? I repeat, easier to digest than just claiming big things and not being able to sort of justify it. Cohesion, you lose marks on cohesion, you lose marks on task response, and basically the entire thing just goes downhill and down to the dogs. Okay? So this is something that you need to be aware of. Fatima says excessive internet use has the tendency to make one socially isolated. Wonderful, Fatima. That is a very good way to sort of make that sentence. Thank you, Jayanti, Omkar, Kanchan, Tejal. Super. Wonderful, guys. All right. So this was the first part of the lesson today. Okay. Now, in the next 10 minutes, there are two things that we're going to do. Number one, we will have one activity related to softer vocabulary that can help you with band 9 or at least 8 plus. So that's game number one. And game number two is we're going to be culminating the lesson today with two things. What is a specific statement and what is a general statement? So we'll play a game on it. Ready? Perfect. The energy is really down in the chat box today. If you're enjoying the lesson, make sure to show a thumbs up to the lesson. If you're new to our community at Cambridge Veritas, make sure to subscribe. We are a growing community and we love helping students like you get stronger at IELTS and most importantly, get your desired band. Okay? There are many teachers who are watching us as well. These lessons are primarily meant for teachers to understand the flow of activities and most importantly, how the lesson flow goes because we run the IELTS Train the Trainer masterclasses. So these lessons come really handy when it comes to organizing activities and just understanding the flow of the lesson overall. Besides that, to all the students as well watching, these lessons, the knowledge, the hidden gems that we discuss are primarily meant for you. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't subscribed, make sure to subscribe. Let's move on. There's an exam tip on the screen for us. So the exam tip is here. We'll take 10 seconds. What is softer vocabulary? It is important not to make absolute statements or sweeping statements because it is a hidden secret of IELTS writing assessment. And if you do it, people use big vocabulary, people learn all the grammatical structures, people know what is the right outline of the essay, this, that, la de la de la. But what people don't understand is there's something called absolute statement that needs to be avoided at all costs, no matter what your level of English is. So keep that in mind. So there are some examples that I have for you. I'm going to show you 6 lists. Take a screenshot of it. So for quantifiers, if you have to quantify something, you can use words like some people, many people, most people. Don't say everyone. So to avoid saying everyone does it, you can say some people do it, many people do it, or most people do it. But don't say everyone does it. All right? Very important point. I saw suddenly students went from 25 to 15. Let me tell you, big mistake, because this is a very important piece of information. Expressions. Remember, we use an expression called it is said. Similarly, to make more generic statements, you can say sentences like, it is said that, it is possible, in some circumstances. So not like every time it happens. Instead of that, you can say in some circumstances. Instead of saying it happens like that, you can say it is possible that it happens like that. Instead of saying people say that, changes to it is said that, or some people say that. Next, verbs. What are verbs? Anything action that is happening is a verb. It is a state as well. But to make you understand it easily, what am I doing right now? Teaching, it's a verb. What are you doing right now? Listening is a verb. Um, what am I doing right now? Balle balle is a dance. It's a verb. So the idea is any action is a verb. So for example, use words like appear, seem, tend. Very important. Use modal verbs like can, could, may. Use frequency adverbs as much as possible. Words like sometimes, often, rarely, etc. Instead of saying all the time. Yeah? So there's that. And the last one is probability adverbs. Remember we spoke about possibly. Yeah? So that suggests probability basically. So it is possibly, probably, perhaps. I want to show you one example and then take a screenshot. Example is rapid. I hope you're able to see it though. Yeah? Let me just. Rapid technology change destroys traditional values. Acha ji. It destroys traditional value. It is a sweeping claim. Now, this claim changes to rapid technological change can weaken traditional value. Can you see how the sentence is changing? Can weaken instead of, and can I tell you something very interesting? This rule does not only apply to IELTS writing, it applies to daily communication as well. It applies to IELTS speaking, as a matter of fact. So the next time when you want to make a claim, stop making a sweeping claim. You may not be an expert in that area. Now, I've been teaching IELTS for 15 years as a teacher trainer, as an IELTS trainer. I can still not make any sweeping claims. A lot of the times I say mostly, or I use words like majority of the times. I absolutely avoid. There's a saying, especially if you're a soft skills trainer or if you're somebody who's into soft skills, there's a very interesting saying. Can I tell you what that is? It is avoid using these kinds of words. Everyone, all the time, nobody. Everyone, all the time, nobody. Everything. These kinds of words, absolutely avoid saying. These kinds of tricks are told and shared with politicians, with public figures, with actors, because what they say matters. So you can't just make a sweeping claim. You'll be trolled on Instagram, right? People are trolled so much these days, more today than before. So if you want to be, let's say, a charismatic speaker, this is all about writing, but I'm telling a very interesting sort of tip here. If you want to be a charismatic speaker, avoid using words like everyone, all the time, um, everything. These are sweeping claims unless you're an expert at it. That's the idea. All right. I hope it helps. Let's move on. So we're now going to play a very interesting game. Here we go. Sorry, I've got a bad cold here today. Here we go. So I'm going to show you sentences that are sweeping claims that are written very badly. Okay. Somebody who's arrogant is saying them. We have to change those sentences using these words. In case you haven't taken a screenshot, take a screenshot. I'm going to give you some space. Show me a big thumbs up if you're done with the screenshot, please. Thank you, Jayanti. Yes. Perfect. Now, what we'll do is we'll use these words and we'll play this game. We'll change the sentences. The first one I will do. The rest of it you have to do yourself. It's not 6, it's actually 5. So I'll show you one by one. Have a look at number 1. People over the age of 50 cannot grasp new technology. Now, some people can say, but Krish, you just said use the word can. In the context where it reduces the sweeping claim. Here it is promoting the sweeping claim. I have changed the sentence. This one is an example. The rest of it you have to do yourself. All right? Thank you, Fatima, Chandra, Jayanti, Omkar, Rashi. Excuse me. So I changed the sentence to many people over the age of 50 have difficulty grasping new technology. And if you see here, the sweeping claim has been reduced with the word many people. All right. Instead of saying they cannot grasp it, there could be some person called who's over 50 and better at technology than us, right? There could be, there's a possibility. Mother Earth has a lot of gems, yeah? So this is a sweeping statement that is changed with words like many and has a simple verb here. But the idea here is we're able to see this being the charmer in this sentence that is reducing the sweeping claim that this sentence is making. The next one you have to do, okay? I'm showing you the sentence now. I'll give you 5 seconds, 10 seconds, take your time. Change that sentence to something lighter with softer vocabulary. Everyone wants to own the latest gadget. What do you think? What do you think it is? I'll read your answers. Everyone wants to own the latest gadget. Thank you, guys. So the answer that's mentioned here is everyone is a sweeping claim here. If you can change it to some people or many people. But there's another way of writing it, and that is people often want to own the latest gadgets. And to make it all the more lighter, you can say some people often want to own the latest gadget. So what are we doing here? We are changing the sweeping claim by using the adverb of frequency. And you can use the word many as well here also. Many people, some people, few people, totally up to you. Just to make it more validating for the other party because different people can have different experiences. Okay, Fatima says owning the latest gadgets seem to be the latest trend today. Perfect, Fatima. Chandra, most people want. Yeah, so most people want, Chandra. That would be correct. Thank you. Jayanti, most people want, again, grammatical correction there. Most people want to have own the latest gadgets. Okay. Rutherford, probably everyone wants to own the latest gadget. Okay. Okay, fine. But we said avoid the word everyone, but I know that you've used the word probably there. Kanchan, most people nowadays. Wonderful, guys. Superb. Great job. Now let's have a look at sentence number. Or everybody's right, by the way. Uh, so there's a very interesting question that Dibya is asking. Ladies and gentlemen, what is the reason? Why is it not gadget or gadgets? Why is it not gadget? Why is it gadgets? Or why is it gadgets, not gadgets? Does anybody have an answer? That's a good question. Nothing major about it, Dibya. That could also be written. It is a more generic term. That's it. All right. Let's have a look at here. Number 3. Please have a look. Children are corrupted by the internet. Okay. It's a sweeping claim. Children are corrupted by the internet. Makes it feel like all the children here. So how would you change it? You can use an expression, a verb, a quantifier. Model verbs also will fit here from the last slide that we looked at. Probability adverbs as well could be good here as well, like possibly, probably, perhaps. Excuse me. Thank you. I'm afraid not. Gadget is not plural. Gadgets is plural. Thank you, Jayanti. Lovely. That's great. It is said that children are corrupted by the internet. Perfect. So here the answer. Here's the answer. The internet can sometimes have a harmful effect on children. All right. It is said. Thank you. Definitely fits uh, the void as well. Children possibly corrupted by the internet. Chandra, lovely. That's fine. Fatima, it is said that internet has the tendency to corrupt or misguide the juveniles. That's great. Thank you. Anybody else? All right, lovely. Good job. Fantastic. This was a good one as well. Now let's have a look at the next one. Jasmeet, children are affected by the internet. But Jagmeet, that's what we are saying. It seems like a sweeping statement as well. So you could possibly use words like some children are corrupted, or most children, or you can say children often, or children sometimes. You can use words like these. Next one. People do not like new technology because they do not understand it. Now, this is a sweeping claim. Thank you, Omkar. Lovely. The internet negatively influences children. That's fine too. Can sometimes, because that's just the other way of saying it. We don't have to paraphrase it, Omkar. We have to use it with a softer vocabulary. Thank you, Kanchan. Yes, that could be a possibility as well. The only correction here, Kanchan, would be children are perhaps. So would be the word perhaps would be followed by the auxiliary verb there. All right, the answer to this one is some people do not like new technology because they find it difficult to understand. Very simple. People here refers to as if one is talking about everyone, changes to some people. Now let's have a look at the last one. Too much technology makes people lazy. Thank you, Chandra. Absolutely. Some people. Too much technology makes people lazy. I've got a suggestion for you. Try using a modal verb. What a modal verb? Everyone, words like can, could, may. Try using one of those. Thank you, Jayanti. Some people, Fatima, lack of knowledge about the technology may sometimes be the reason for less interest. Interest for who, Fatima? But some people, yes. That's a very nice paraphrase version of it, as a matter of fact. All right, so the answer for this one is too much technology may. I repeat, have a look here. May make some people less active. So we've used words like may, some people, can, often, many. So all of these are soft words. What do we call them? Once again, soft words. They are the charmers of English language. Excuse me, as a matter of fact. Try using them not just on the IELTS essays or writing tasks, but also in daily life as well, because it makes you sound less arrogant and more of a people's person who's able to hit conversations rather than just claims, facts that are void in nature. All right? Perfect. Bravo. If you're enjoying the lesson, give it a big thumbs up and make sure to subscribe as well. Your support means very important to all the teachers at Cambridge Veritas and the entire team. Okay? Here we go. Alrighty. Bravo, bravo, bravo. Here we go. Now, the last game of the day is we are inching finally towards the end of the lesson. The last game is I'm going to show you 9 sentences, 9 to 10 sentences. Look at these sentences on the screen. You have to tell me, do you think it is a general statement or is it a specific statement? Why am I asking this? Please have a look. I repeat, why am I asking this? Because, okay, when it is a general statement, when it is specific statement. Sorry, I've got a very bad throat. My God, today there's no water as well. So general statements predominantly go in the top of the paragraph. Imagine this is a paragraph. They generally go in the top of the paragraph. They're also called topic sentences. Supporting statements often go in the middle of the paragraph. They support the general statement. Okay? So I'm now going to show you some statements that you can use during the outlining of an essay. So we have to be able to understand what is a general statement and specific statement. Ready? If you understand the game, show me a big thumbs up. Excellent. Superb, guys. Fatima, Chandra, English language and pronunciation, and Jayanti. Here we go. Please have a look. So the question is, to what extent has information technology reduced social inequality? I'm now going to show you some statements that a student has written for this essay question. Is it general or specific? So number one, A, in some countries, fewer than 50% population is able to read or able to read. Is it a specific statement or a general statement? It's a specific statement. Okay? Most of these are going to be specific actually. There are only 3 general statements. I repeat, it's a hint for you. There are only 3 general statements. The rest of these that I'm going to show you are only going to be specific statements. Next one. Use of blocking software and firewalls common. Now, as you can see, they are not complete sentences, but they are more like ideas. So use of blocking software and firewalls common. It's common. Okay. So is it general or is it specific? Perfect. Fatima, Jayanti, Chandra. It's used as an example, as a matter of fact. It is a specific statement as well. Perfect. It is not a general statement. It's specific, especially with the use of specific words like blocking software. If you just simply say using softwares and firewalls are common, using softwares are common, but what kind of softwares? Then it'll become specific, which is what is mentioned here, as a matter of fact. Next one, electricity supply irregular. Electricity supply irregular. Is it general or is it specific? Waiting for your answers, guys. So this statement is specific, specific as well because it is a supporting detail. Why? When you especially talk about electricity supply irregular, why is it a specific statement? Because it is a specific infrastructure problem. If you're talking about supply is irregular, then it is a general statement. If you mention that it is electricity supply is irregular, the moment you mention the word electricity, It is not a general infrastructure problem. It is a specific kind of infrastructure problem. And because of that, it is a specific statement. Can you see a lot of different kinds of answers are coming? Why is that? Because there's still confusion related to specific and general. And that's why we have this game in the live lecture today. Make sure the next time when you write sentences, especially during the outlining of the essay, you know very clearly what is specific and what is non-specific, what is general. Okay? Next one. Government censorship of internet widespread. Is it general or is it specific? And why do you think that is? Thank you. Thank you, guys. Chandra, Aradhya, Fatima, Jayanti, Kanchan. Thank you. This is a general statement because it is a general government barrier. Now, some people can say that it is internet widespread, but the focus of the sentence is not internet widespread, it's the government censorship. Even where IT access available, governments fearful of well-informed public. By the way, to help you attempt this question better, try to connect these sentences, especially with the question that is out there, which is at the top of the screen for you. That'll help you understand this better. What's E? Even where IT access available, governments fearful of well-informed public. Now this one is uh, I think I mentioned the word general for this one. Yeah, I've written a wrong answer here. Please have a look. Specific is wrong for this one. Thank you. I just noticed in case. Did anybody notice that? You did not notice. Yes. Thank you, Fatima, for noticing that. It is general, not specific. Perfect. So what about E here, though? And why? E is, ladies and gentlemen, even where IT access available, government fearful of well-informed public. I have to apologize once again. I think there's been some animation difficulty here when I was making the lesson. So this one again is, ladies and gentlemen, not specific. This one is not general. This one is specific as well. Why? What is the reason? I'm going to tell the reason as well. Because we're talking about a general government motivation, or we are talking about a specific government motivation. My apologies. Beg your pardon again. This one is specific, not general, because we are talking about a specific government motivation. Alrighty, we have the last one coming up here. Last three, as a matter of fact. Okay, so the next one is broadband access only in major cities. It is specific. Thank you. Let's have a look at the next one. Illiteracy, a major obstacle. Okay. Overuse of technology. Thank you, Fatima, Aradhya, Chandra, Jayanti, Rashi. Oh, thank you. Lovely. So this one, G, is a general statement, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much. Thank you, Jayanti. Because illiteracy is a major obstacle, is a general barrier. H, basic infrastructure inadequate. Basic infrastructure inadequate. It is very similar to G, by the way. It is general statement as well. So now some people may say, Krish, I still find it difficult to understand what is general or specific. Let me give you a very simple example, okay? Fast food is dangerous for health is a general statement because it is the topic of the sentence. And the rest of the sentences that I will write need to support this. So, for example, according to a sentence like this, for that matter, in some countries, according to a magazine published in Delhi 2025, fast food has overly caused a lot of fast food has caused health problems to 29% of the diabetic people. Whatever, I'm just making a random fact. So the idea here is what I'm saying, the second sentence is supporting the general statement that I made, fast food is dangerous for health. So can you see, dangerous for health is the topic sentence general statement. The next thing that I'm saying, according to a magazine published in so and so city, so and so number of people have caused, have had major health issues because of so and so. So this is supporting the main idea, which is dangerous for health. So I hope it helps you understand. The last bit is women and the poor, especially likely to be illiterate. Is it general or is it specific? Yes, Fatima. Good question. Fatima is saying, can you explain basic infrastructure inadequate? Fatima, H is very similar to G as a matter of fact. I repeat, H is very similar to G. So what is happening in G and H together? Look at basic infrastructure inadequate. You're talking about general, basic infrastructure inadequate, general barrier. And if you look at the uh, G part as well, the G one here, illiteracy is a major obstacle again. You're talking about, yes, some people may say that you need to focus on the word illiteracy, but have a look at this. Am I trying to, uh, you need to be able to share let's say, specific number to make it a specific fact. Illiteracy, just like fast food is dangerous for health in this context, is a general statement. We're not mentioning any examples here, etc., to make it more specific. That's the idea. The last one here is specific as well. Women and the poor. Why is it specific? Because specific details about who is affected are mentioned. So that's why it is specific here. Now, doing this activity makes me realize that we can actually have a lesson which is all about specific details and, most importantly, general details and how to use them in the IELTS essay. And that's exactly what we're going to be doing uh, in some of the lessons that will come ahead of us in the next few weeks. But let's have a quick look at what we looked at. So today, there are 4 things that we have primarily looked at. Essay outline, what is appropriate sentences with the use of softer vocabulary, and most importantly, the practice. Now, there's something very interesting here. Please have a look. We're now available on WhatsApp, which is what I wanted to share. But there are 3 things that you have to keep in mind. Number 1, expand the notes into sentences. Supremely important, which is what we have to do. Do not write too many notes and do not write sweeping statements in those notes. Add signposting expressions to emphasize important points. We looked at those expressions. Adverbs of frequency, modal verbs, expressions, it is said that, etc., etc. And if necessary, add modifiers or use softer vocabulary to make statements less sweeping, which is what today's session has been all about. In case you've joined us for the first time, make sure to subscribe to the channel because we keep on coming up with daily live lessons for teachers as well as for students, for teacher training and students. If you wish to donate, help us grow, you can scan this QR code to help the channel grow, the team. It takes a lot of work making these lessons for you. And most importantly, we are available on WhatsApp channel as well. The link of it is going to be in the description for your kind perusal. And most importantly, we have the next IELTS writing workshop that is starting. IELTS Masterclass TTT that is starting on the 3rd of March for all the teachers out there who want to be IELTS certified trainers. So in case you're interested, the link of it is available in the chat box for your perusal. So there's that. Before we exit for today, can you tell me in the chat box, in the live chat, what did you learn? I repeat, what is your takeaway from today's lesson? And in case you have any questions, thank you. You're welcome, Fatima. Thank you, Chandra. Learned how to change sweeping sentences. You're welcome, Chandra. Thank you. All right, bingo. Lovely meeting you once again. I look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow once again. The time has changed, and that is 7 p.m. IST. Lots of love. Take care, and I'll see many of you in the live classes soon. Take care. God bless. Good night.